Yo, hello Kings. I'm Dr. Sana and welcome to your own page. This page is purely educational and my goal is to raise your awareness so that you don't start taking drugs knowingly, drugs that you might start but whose end is unknown. I love you all. Today, what do I want to talk about, my heart's kings? About crack, okay? Why, what is crack anyway? Why did they name it crack? What is the difference between it and the substance itself? In short, let's talk about crack. But before I want to talk about crack, like and subscribe. And after subscribing, make sure to leave an English comment so your subscription doesn't drop. My Instagram will appear down here. Follow it. And before I want to talk about crack again, I want to tell you that for about 4 or 5 days now, I've quit smoking and cigarettes. The good thing about quitting, guys, is that when you quit, you realize what kind of willpower you have. Because let's be honest, for anyone struggling with an addiction, the process of quitting is truly the hardest thing in the entire world. And besides the simple fact that saying no to something you've lived with for so many years is incredibly difficult, there's another profound layer of hardship. You're completely alone in it. No one truly knows what's going on inside your mind or your heart. Not your closest friend, not your family, not your wife, not your girlfriend. No one at all. It's just you and God. They are the only ones who really know what you're going through, and that silence can be the heaviest burden of all, okay? That's why this makes the job much harder. And in my opinion, when you put an addiction aside, whether it's any kind of addiction, addiction to lying, to the opposite sex, to anything, to swearing, to lewd looks, or to drugs. When you put one addiction aside, your energy and motivation to quit other drugs go up because you tell yourself, oh, such a wow, look at what a gangster I am. And I didn't even know it. I was able to quit weed, I was able to quit opium, sap, quit opium, I was able to quit sleeping pills, so I'll quit cigarettes too. I just want to give you an experience so that if you want to quit cigarettes, you can get motivated. In these 5 or 6 days that I've quit, the best thing I've received, the best blessing, is that I can think. What does that mean? It means that before, whenever I was idle, I would light a cigarette, but now when I'm idle, that cigarette isn't there. I think, I sit and think. Meaning the main thing that leads to my progress, happiness, prosperity, and joy, which is thinking, has increased significantly now. I hope I have been able to convey to you one of the benefits I've gained from quitting smoking in these past 5 or 6 days. Let's just shut up, not drag the discussion on, not stretch it out, and move on to crack. Look, crack is actually another form of that drug which comes in a crystalline form, meaning it exists as crystals. So we have crack heroin, we have crack morphine, where morphine is actually the concentrated form of heroin. We also have crack cocaine, okay? What is essentially known as crack is crack cocaine, okay? But in Iran, Afghanistan, and Asia, crack heroin also exists. Today we want to talk about crack cocaine. Crack cocaine is also called cocaine rock, and it's also just called crack. What is crack cocaine? Look, any crack you hear about, whether it's crack cocaine or crack heroin, is actually the freebase form of that substance. Meaning the freebase of cocaine powder becomes crack cocaine or cocaine rock. Now what is freebase? Freebase means the freebase form. If you do a quick review of high school chemistry, an acid had 1 extra proton or 1 H plus compared to a base. Now, when you take the acid or that alkaline, what does that mean? Meaning if you remove an H plus from cocaine, that is, convert it to its base form, or remove an H plus from heroin and convert it to its base form, the crack version of that substance is produced, which happens through a process where that substance gets deprotonated, that substance loses its hydrogen. For example, they combine cocaine powder with certain chemicals to make crack cocaine. Crack cocaine has a solid, rock-like form, though it turns into powder. Don't think you need a chisel to break it. No, it's more like, imagine it's brittle, like a Madar biscuit. God bless all mothers. I kiss your mothers. Nonsense, I mean nonsense. You kiss my mother too, nonsense. As I was saying, let's get back to the story. Now, what's the difference between crack cocaine and cocaine powder? Look, the melting point of cocaine powder is 190 degrees Celsius. That's why you can never smoke cocaine powder. You can't smoke it. It must only be sniffed or injected. But crack cocaine has a lower melting point. It has a melting point of 90 degrees. That's why the crack form of any substance is mostly used for smoking, whether they put it in a pipe or in a cigarette. In short, they smoke it and inhale its fumes. The difference between crack and powder is that crack hits much faster because it's absorbed through the lungs. Cocaine powder, as they say, takes 5 to 10 minutes to take effect. But crack cocaine, within 10 seconds of smoking it, after inhaling the fumes, this cocaine enters your brain and exerts its effect. If we want to talk about its effects, there is definitely a video in the description about cocaine and what it does to your brain. But I'll summarize it again here. Crack cocaine, that state and those changes that cocaine powder causes in the brain, crack is much more intense. It has these effects much more intensely. What does crack cocaine do? Like powder, cocaine powder, it causes dopamine in your brain to spike severely and it inhibits the reuptake of dopamine. That's why dopamine levels in your body go up, and cocaine is a stimulant, meaning it causes an increase in energy. It causes a fight state, meaning you're ready to fight. Your emotions are intensely heightened. You're highly irritable, alert, your heart rate is high, you're breathing rapidly, you're sweating a lot, that kind of stuff, okay? And the problem with cocaine is that as quickly as it raises dopamine and gives the person a feeling of euphoria, within 10 minutes, all that dopamine suddenly drops. All that dopamine suddenly drops, meaning the person experiences the peak of being high for 10 minutes, and after those 10 minutes, it's as if they experience the minimum. After 10 minutes, the person becomes depressed right there, meaning they go from a very good state to a very bad state. They feel extremely depressed, and that is why cocaine is so addictive. Meaning when the person takes a line or takes a hit of crack, after 10 minutes, they need the next hit. Because if they don't, they are severely depressed, agitated, upset, and feel like crying. Now let's talk about the side effects of cocaine. Let's also talk about the side effects of crack cocaine. Look here, kings. One of the worst side effects of crack cocaine is that the person develops a delusion called delusional parasitosis, meaning the individual feels like worms and insects are crawling under their skin. That's why chronic users of cocaine, and especially crack cocaine, scratch their skin so much, trying to get these worms out, that they develop very severe skin lesions. Their skin is full of sores. The next side effect of cocaine, which is the main cause of death from cocaine use, is heart problems. Cocaine can cause heart infections like pericarditis. It can cause heart attacks, cardiac arrest, and heart failure, which is the most common cause of death from cocaine use. Anyway, I told you all of this, and now, why is it called crack? It's because when it reaches its melting point, meaning you hold a lighter under it and it turns into smoke inside the pipe and enters your lungs, when it melts, it makes a sound. I hope I can make the sound. I don't know how to beatbox, but well, I'll try. I hope that was good. Okay, wait. It makes the sound. That's why they call it crack cocaine. I love you, man, for doing such a good sound impression. You make the sound of crack so well. Crack, crack, crack cocaine. Now, if I want to give my own opinion, the thing is that a human with a sound mind should never go towards stimulants. What does stimulants mean? It means crystal meth, cocaine. A person with a sound mind should never go towards these two substances because they are extremely addictive. They are extremely addictive. Because of what? Because of that sudden pleasure it gives to the person. I mean, let's tell the truth. We shouldn't say it doesn't give pleasure. Well, addiction is actually because of the pleasure. These stimulants are extremely addictive. That's why we need to know that people who use crystal meth usually end up homeless after 10 years. Usually after 10 years, there's nothing left of them. They give away their money, their life, their wife and kids. They give away everything. I mean, stimulants in the long run take your life. And I'm saying this because I've seen it. Now, cocaine is a bit expensive, so people can't use it that much. Otherwise, even with cocaine, if a person is rich, that same cocaine will bring them down after 10 years. It truly brings them down. Because stimulants, due to the dopamine, they spike intensely and then cause to crash suddenly, make you feel the need to use them constantly. Meaning, after a while, you come to your senses and realize you're working just to use. You're earning money just to use. You're clearing your schedule just to get high. You're blowing off your wife and kids just to get high. That's why, my loves, I'm working my tail off here with pride. There's no obligation at all. I'm proudly working my tail off so that you don't use with full awareness. You can figure out the rest yourself. I love you all. If you want to quit and need help, make sure to message me in the DMs on Instagram because I feel it's my duty to help you. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Know that I get all this energy I have from you. From you, and all of you. I love you all. I am the dust under your feet. You are the coal for my eyes. Until we meet again. Farewell.